I have returned. Again. I have returned again. Oh, stretching goo. Right, here we go. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo. It's painting goo. What will we goo? Nobody knew. What we goo? Painting goo. Paint goo. Rant sip fuck. Rat. Paint sip rant fuck. Paint sip rant fuck. Painting goo 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 goo. Paint sip rant goo goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Ah, my chi is beginning to fro. Painting goo goo goo. It's painting fucking goo. It's painting goo. Painting goo. It's painting goo. What will we goo? Nobody knew. What do we goo? Not even me. Painting goo. Paint sap. Paint sap. Paint sip. Rant goo. Fuck. Rant fuck goo sip kip. Disclaimer. There will be no fucking on painting. Painting goo. 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 Painting goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Paint sip rant goo goo. Painting goo goo goo. It's painting fucking goo. It's painting goo. Painting goo. Paint rant goo. Sip rant goo. Paint rant goo. Painting goo. Goo goo goo. Goo 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 goo. Well, that gets me every time. It's so hard not to laugh at that bit. Oh, fuck. Painting goo. Painting goo. Goo 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 goo. Painting goo. Goo 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 goo. Right! You filthy mortar scum! You know the drill. Pay the monkey so he doesn't go hungry. Thrash that right button like it has inserted your ancestors. How are we looking? I am on a different side of the room. I am taking advantage of the glorious natural sunlight. How does everything rook? On my end, it rooks quite well. It rooks quite well. The writing is acceptable. How's the sound? Am I coming through loud and clear? How is everyone? How are my beloved Japonaita? Are you where? Did you miss me while I was gone? I seen that the villagers kicked up a stink. Of course, they were dealt with accurately, efficiently, violently. They were dealt with violently. Cannons roared and cannonballs soared. Cannonball sword? Like a cannonball that you can slice things with? No, I mean they soared, as in they rose through. Rising, soaring, like phoenix. Many villagers died. It was glorious. It was beautifully horrifying. I now see things from your perspective, being half mortal myself. And once you are aware of how ultimately fragile the human vessel is, your eye can be plucked out so easily. Your belly can be opened. Your bones can snap. Your airways can be blocked. You can die in so many ways, so easily. You are so feeble. 30 feeble mortals. And I am now half one of you. And I have noticed that mass death, or even a moderate amount of death in quick succession, is absolute cinema, depending on the context. The context of the local villagers on PEINTEINGU Island losing their shit because I am not painting the goo. Where I was painting the goo. I was painting the walls. There's something. It's just out of camera view. It's on the wall. Where is it? I kind of tilt the laptop. Where is it? There we go. As Staburo-sama said, a more beautiful frog violin he has never seen in his life. Yes, indeed. I have started to... My mental state has begun to deteriorate, and I am now painting on the walls in some sort of attempt to beautify my environment and save myself from despair and madness. Why else would you start painting on the walls? Oh, sip, sip. Right. Today, we begin a new goo. A new adventure, eh? We set sail on the PEINTEINGU vessel. What we go, I know not. Where we go, I know not. That is the first thing to go today. Monday. Matter Monday, my favorite day. PEINTEINGU has made me love Mondays. I do not listen to enough heavy metal these days. Ah, greetings. Dick Fordu, Iron Man Barrow, welcome to another glorious episode of PEINTEINGU. How are you? Are you where? How's the chi throwing? Painting on walls without a Debrowner is the ultimate digression. Oh, with the Debrowner. I was like, without the brown? Painting on the walls without the brown is the ultimate digression. quite satisfied how it turned out. You cannot really see it from here. Is in Telegram. Is in PEINTEINGU Telegram chatu. But there, you can barely see it. On the edge of the screen. It looks like Anchor, Chero, Violin. For some reason, Stabaru-sama thinks it looks like some sort of frog or Pokemon. I'm inclined to agree with him. Anyway, we are not painting on the walls today. We are creating a new glorious PEINTEINGU. Framing things perfectly. It's very difficult sometimes, but very satisfying once you get it correct. How are the visuals today? Let me know. Does it look good? What is this new formattingu? Stabaru-sama is the only one so far to comment on how PEINTEINGU looks today. I believe the colors are good. The resolution is good. I do believe it looks good. Obviously, you can see the wardrobe and some shit in the background. And there is a mirror in this PEINTEINGU here as a result of the angle of the light. First Geppu of the day, gross. The water is mixing with all the coffee I had. Excellent. Right. As I said, is a Meta Mondays, but it is a new PEINTEINGU. So, we must... Well, that's the rag. I don't need to do that yet. Not yet. We must figure out where we are going and what we are doing. So you know what that means. I must press these buttons and do these things. Beardo is on point today. I am semi-clean right now. I had a shower yesterday, I think. I hate showers. I've had nothing but showers for several years now, because we do not have a bath. And it is beginning to vex me. I miss baths. I miss bathing. Showers just don't cut it when it comes to the release of tension and relaxation. Being able to fully submerge yourself in hot water and lie back, or even sit, is missed. I miss it. Standing there, being pissed on by a tap, it's just not the same. It's just not the same. Where's my matter? No, wait. Yes, not yet. I want to listen to matter. It's an itch that I need to scratch. But first, we figure out where we are going. Then, what we are doing. Bubble. Right. When I say, not a moment before, when I say, you will press a number in the chat between 0 and 224. If you have any honor in your feeble, filthy, mortal shell, you will swiftly press a number in the chat. Only after I say so. Not a moment before. Right. The map. So much easier to do that. Oh, look at it! Look at that. It rests on the thingy. Glorious. I am now hands-free. Excellent. Hi, I missed Jacuzzi Tobu. I enjoyed sitting in during my vacation the past spring. 'Twas glorious indeed. I miss the hot springs. I miss the hot springs. And the monkeys. I love the monkeys. They're very funny. Their king, however, it's a different story. Oh shit. Neary! Neary! It nearly happened. my spatial awareness while wearing the headset. I need to adapt. Like the Borg. Right, Arawio Chi to Beard. As we set sail on the PEINTEINGU vessel. On a new adventure, eh? Arouse the beautiful music to get your chi flowing. As we figure out where we are going and what we are going. My beloved Japonator, are you ready for another glorious episode of PEINTEINGU? Ha! Right, do it now! Do it now! Do the number thingy! Put the numbers in the chats! 12/30,000! Stabaru thinks he's a funny with his made-up number. You're not funny, Stabaru-sama! 29! 29. Brazil! We are headed to Brazil, where they speak Portuguese. Portuguese. Well, the devil is always in the details, and it sounds like to me that Portuguese is Portuguese. Makes a lot of sense. Right. It's right here. It's huge. It's huge. That is what she said. Right. 29, Brazil. Chuparora. Roller. But because Japu. Rora. Chuparora. Cocksucker. One who sucks cocks. There are a lot of them these days. And not the good kind. No. Not at all. Right. We know where we are going. We must now discover what we are going. The map goes there. The hat must be shuffled. The magic hat containing the ultimate chaos. Random things. Random shit. Right. I will snatch from the magic hatu what we are going on today's PEINTEINGU. Get the fuck out of my way. Oh! Stretchingu! Good posture is one of the many P's of PEINTEINGU. I will gather my chi for the first striker. Snatch! I am rusty. Excuse me, Micah. I do not want to endanger my bracketarian Jewish cameraman. I mean, microphone man. Microphone man. Sounds like shitty superhero from the 80s. Second attempt. Snatch! Ah, so close. I felt it on the tips. Right. Third time is charmer. Here we go. This is the one. Here we go. Snatch! Oh! So close. So close. It's because you do not pay for PEINTEINGU. My chi is not flowing. Oh. Oh. Snatch! That was a glorious snatch. I was like eager. Like mutant eager crab. Combination of Taran and Crotch. Glorious. Like cat! I snatched it! I pawed it! Like a cat! Which is the first thing we are doing. Cat! Is the first thing we are doing in Portuguese. Well, Brazil. We are not going to Portugal. We are going to Brazil. Second snatch! Second striker. Is it a snatch? Is it a strike? If I pluck out your eye, is it a strike or a snatch? Sumimasen. Snatch! Oh, collateral damage. Collateral damage. What did we get? Journer! The second thing, Journer. Is this a philosopher pussy? A contemplating kitten? I will need more agua. Or more coffee. Either or. Pork and cheese. Portuguese. Smells like pork and cheese. Being furthest away in the realm is my burden. Never to shotgun a numberu again. Womp womp. May your snatch be swift and honorable. I was a bit rusty. Feeble mortars fear the mighty Krager. Krager. I need to paint one of them now. A crab eagle. A craggle. And just do a crab with an eagle's head coming out. Right. Third and final striker. I must gather my chi. Strike! Oh, that was glorious. There was some minor collateral damage, but it was glorious. Ah! A term I was familiar with for a long timer. Immortal! The third and final thing is immortal. So we are painting an immortal cat writing in his journal in Brazil. You're painting what now? Don't ask. Right. I must consult the Oracle Google. Where is my brack mirror? Let me see. Where I consult Google for inspiration like I usually do, or where I just be like Brazil, tropical. No, I will look for inspiration for background. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Oh, great Oracle Google. Show me, brother. Right, that's a nice city. Rio, big statue of Jesus. That is in Rio, is it not? Oh, that's nice. Sugarloaf Mountain. I like this one. Right, first things first, beautiful blue sky. That's always the first thing on PEINTEINGU. I will let the music crew finish as I prepare the goo on the parrot. Let me see. I want a beautiful pale blue sky. I will need all the goo, methinks. The goo must be shockade. You know this. I know this. All the goo must be shockade. Let me see. Right, you know the drill. Crap for PEINTEINGU. If I don't see you crapping in the chat for PEINTEINGU, I will assume that you have no honor. You are an honorous dog. Not fit for viewing PEINTEINGU. The only way to retain your honor is to pay for PEINTEINGU. If you are one of those filthy mortar scum who watch PEINTEINGU and don't pay for PEINTEINGU, your ancestors will look upon you with great shame. Great shame. The Japanites will hate you. I will allow to pray. PEINTEINGU, PEINTEINGU, PEINTEINGU. Right! I do believe I have everything I need. Where are my bitches? Here we go. Right. Let me see. Today is Meta Monday. So this is happening. Where is it? 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 Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo goo goo. Here we go. Shout out to this Jacob Litze. Jacob Lizotte. Jacob Lizotte. I love this playlist. Brings me back to 2010. Right. Let's make some pear brew sky. Brew. Ah, I did not shake or the goo. How dare I? Must shake the goo. A dash of white. A dash of brew. Painting. Goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. Painting. Goo 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 goo. Go a bit darker. Painting. Goo 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 goo. There we go. With a few sprays from my tiny mister, the goo will flow freely. Just a few squirts. Excuse me, Micah. Painting goo. Here we go. Painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Sit back, relax, grab some sushi and some sake, and a raw painting goo to get your chi flowing. Paint goo. That's a nice brew. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Gotta maintain the same tone of brew. It's a bit brighter. Painting. Goo, 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 goo. If your cheese not flowing, there's probably something wrong with you. Painting. Goo, 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. Painting. Goo 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 goo. Such a beautiful brew. The beauty of this brew cannot be overstated. My cheese throwing the tunes are glorious. Right, I think that's enough brew. Now we do a mountain and some beautiful trees. Some irons in the background. And brighten this bit up a bit. Paintingu. 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 Painting goo goo. Goo goo. Goo goo. Goo goo. Goo goo. Painting goo goo. It's not horizontal. Must make horizontal. Painting. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Let me see. I forgot bucket to clean brush. Shit. There is always something. Painting goo. Painting goo. Goo goo goo. Let me see. I must make a browner. Very, very right browner. I must shake the rest of the goo. Painting goo goo goo. Goo goo goo. Must shake the goo. How brew can you brew the brew? Very. Very brew. Really fucking brew. Right. Painting goo. Goo, goo, goo. Painting goo. Try not to get goo in my eye. Painting goo. Goo, goo, goo. Painting goo goo goo. Goo goo goo. Painting goo goo goo. Goo 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 goo. Goo goo goo. Painting goo goo goo. Excellent. You get some green on this bitch, but not with this brush. I mean, bitch. I need to get some green on this bitch, but not with this bitch. With this bitch. Painting goo. Must always shock the goo. No get goo in eye holes, please. I prefer painting goo with Defender Osama, not Patchy the Pirate do. A blind Asian painter would be very epic though. Painting goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. Painting goo goo. Painting goo goo. Painting goo goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Needs to be darker in certain places. There we go. Painting goo, goo goo goo. I seriously think that's one of the nicest melodies I've heard in a while. Is that a melody? I don't know. I'm not musical at all. Paint the goo to watch the goo dry. Ooh. Such a nice melody. Painting goo 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 goo. Paint the goo to watch the goo dry. That is kind of a pastel green. That is not what I'm looking for. It's beautiful. Oh, a spider! A spider just descended into frame! Glorious. There you go, buddy. My teeny tiny 8-legged friend. Look at him go! Spiders are awesome. Go forth and kill some flies, brother. Painting goo goo. Goo 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 goo. Beautiful. Beautiful. Paintingu. Paintingu. Paint the goo, watch the goo dry. Ooh ooh, ooh ooh ooh. Painty goo 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 goo. Oh, that is no longer green. That is no longer green. Shit. I could use this color for the rock, however. Painting goo, 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 goo. Painting goo, goo, goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. It's looking quite good. Very abstractu. I love it. Painting. Goo goo. Painting goo goo. Goo goo goo. Goo. Painting goo goo. Goo 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 goo. Paint goo. Paint goo. Painting. Goo goo. Such a beautiful melody. Oh shit. Painting goo. Goo 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 goo. Goo goo goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Goo goo. Right. An immortal cat with a journal. Somewhere inside this painting goo. Let me see. I do believe I should put him on the right side. Do tree. Right. More green. Painting goo 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 goo. Very cool, Miraiki. I don't know, from here it looks pretty. Baby brew is a nice brew. Finery! DEF truck arrived at wrong rast. Storage tanks were running very low. Glorious. Funny! That's what I used to think. Needs to be darker. What needs to be darker? What did you used to think? I know not what of you speak. I am lost. Help me. Oh, glorious. Go, my friend, and eat all the other annoying insects. Yeah, indeed. When I forget the Brussels sprouts in the oven, that is no longer green. It's like swampy sludge. I found this horn prayer on IG. Very talented. We'll send if I didn't already. Glorious. Painting. Goo goo. Goo goo. Goo goo. HBC. Painting goo 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 goo. Paint. Goo. Goo goo goo. There we go. Painting. Goo, 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 goo. Glorious. It's looking glorious. Ah, Emmanuel Godsunu. Hello. How are you? Ah, yes. DEF Rude, otherwise known as Hog Piss. Please to check inbox you on Telegram for happy, fun, sunshine, good phrase of the day, you timu. Excellent. I will do phrase of the day momentarily. I was speaking of my waifu. I joke at her expense. She is a good sport, though. Ah. Funny, that's what I used to think. Needs to be darker. Indeed. It's looking beautiful! The OG guy. Nice art, brother. Keep it up. Domo arigato for your commentu, the OG Gayu. Welcome to PEINTEINGU. I'm 50 breeding 1 tomorrow. Halfway there. Epic. You should be proud, Emmanuel. You are still alive. Be grateful. You are still alive. More brew, make it darker. Way darker. More red. There we go. Painting goo. Painting goo. Right, let me see. Methinks we put the cat here or here. Maybe here. Let me see. Paintingu, goo goo goo. Paintingu, goo goo goo. Painting, goo goo, goo goo, goo goo. Looking good. Painting. Goo, 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 goo. Goo, 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 goo. Goo, 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 goo. Slowly, but surely. Right. Alright, my beloved Japonita. That's all I have time for today. We have made excellent progress. I covered up the giant rock in the background a bit more than I would like. But so far, so good. It is an excellent foundation upon which to build a beautiful paintingu. Me reiki angry bullfrog guitar soundu. Bow 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 bow. I love metal. Matter Mondays make me calm. Make me feel good. It's glorious. I hope you have enjoyed today's PEINTEINGU. I do believe the new setup is better in many reasons. I'm using the original laptop camera. Just the writing is better. I see fine detail. I see an excellent color saturation. This brings me joy. So far, so good with episode 350, 330. We've done a lot of episodes of PEINTEINGU. And there will be many more. But this concludes today's PEINTEINGU. I hope you enjoyed Ingu. I will allow this bitch to dry, and I will see you tomorrow. Oh shit! Phrase of Deu! Thank you, Stavru-sama. My apologies, Desmondu-sama. I forgot to do... That's because it was not there earlier. That's why I forget. You are forgiven for having a rate phrase. PEINTEINGU. Goo. 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 Indeed, a fine phrase. Right, pause the tunes. Right, actually, I don't know how I am going to accomplish this. Tobias, my feathery friend, descend from your perch, your pedestal. Right, oh shit. My apologies, Micah. I do not have the background ability. Not yet. Anyway, we will see what I can arrange. For the time being, I will simply hoard, brother Tobias. This is probably going to be quite loud, because the Micah is right there. Right here, right there, right here. Perfect. Today's phrase of the day. Was that too loud? Was it not loud enough? Let me know in the chat. The derpier the animal, the deadlier it is. This could not be more true. Quite often we see something derpy looking and we think, ah, cuddly, cute, stupid. This is far from the truth. The derpier the animal, the deadlier it is. Just right, excellent. I will attempt to move something, build something in order to have Tobias in background. Or I will use alternative camera for Tobias and Boris. I'm still trying to figure out how to incorporate Boris into the mapu and so on and so forth. It is awkward, cumbersome, but worth it to do PEINTEINGU sometimes. I'm trying to Tetris the shit out of this office in an attempt to make things efficient and more accessible. But, anywho, baby parrots are derpy to the max. They are indeed. They are indeed. Especially, not just derpy parrots, but an owl with no feathers is a terrifying, derpy creature to behold. Right, you filthy mortar scum, and my beloved Japonaita. That is all for today from me, your host, your illustrious demi-divine host, Defenderu-sama, demigod of a PEINTEINGU. I will see you tomorrow, God willing. I will place a message in the chat. If you're not on the Telegram PEINTEINGU, What are you doing with your knife? Huh? Right. From me, Microphone, and that cat in the tree. Sayonara! And we will see you soon. And remember, not only to pay for PEINTEINGU, but be good, be true, and be beautiful. Domo!